Okay, here we are, 40th Star Wars card base set. This is probably going to be an extremely long look into these cards. Let's see if I can get these a little bit more focused. I was certain I'd done these sets before. Oh, sorry, I'll show you the back as well. It's going to take a bit longer, isn't it? There's the back, there's the front, there's the back. But apparently not. Apparently I had maybe done the video and maybe I lost it. So we're going through again. Lucky for us. I can't remember how much I got these for. Maybe I don't want to say $40. I don't want to say $40. I probably got them for about $30 or something off eBay when it was the height of the 40th season, when these first kind of came out and people were wanting to get rid of all the base cards because they were looking for all the inserts and the autographs and all sorts of stuff like that. So I picked up a set, thought I might be able to shift it on to some Star Wars excited people, but I have not been able to sell this set. So it might go into a folder, maybe I'll put it in some card protectors and put it in a card page folder thingamajig. And generally it's kind of cool. If I was, once again, I keep on probably saying this, but if I was a younger person, I'll be right into this. Absolutely, these cards would be awesome. I remember when I had my red Return of the Jedi cards, I'd look at those things over and over and over and over again. Back in the day where there were not DVDs and you recorded the movie off the television. So the only thing to really remind you would be the Return of the Jedi movie book, I suppose you could call it, with the story and the pictures and the cards. So that's what I used to page through for hours at a time, reading the backs, looking at the fronts, imagining how cool it would be to be in the Star Wars universe. I actually eventually got a entirely new set of Return of the Jedi red cards, and I got the blue cards too, which I didn't even know existed when I was a kid anyway. I don't think they had the blue cards in New Zealand, but I can't remember. I think I may have even been gifted the red cards, but it's, you know, a long time ago in a world far distant from this one when I got those cards, so forgive myself if I can't recall how I got them. But yes, this is all the art from the Star Wars releases around the world. Kind of cool. Oh gosh, that refocus didn't work that well, did it? Very cool. Of course, you're not allowed to have, I shouldn't really talk about this, but controversy is you're not allowed to have guns on the posters now, because that's naughty, isn't it? So the cards are pretty cool for kind of a nostalgic value. There are a heck of a lot of cards in this set, let me tell you right now. 200's halfway through, I think, and we're not even, we're at 150. I actually haven't looked at this set for a long time, so I can't quite remember what's in it. But it would have been cool if they had not only the movie posters and the art, but maybe they do, I can't remember. But the toy stuff, toy art, there we go, it's a comic. Maybe all of the comic stuff. I think they may have only got the, is this issue 1 or something? Maybe all of the comic art, maybe the book art. I don't know if they have that in there, in here, can't remember. But even like the toy catalogues, that would have been pretty fun. Pictures of the old catalogues. I still have a couple of the old catalogues, and I mean, once again, as a kid, you would go page through those over and over and over and over again, wishing that you could have all the toys in there. I still have a few of the original, don't fall over, the original figures, which I have tried to catalogue and value based on rough averages of what they sell on eBay. So I still do have some of the last, I can't remember, was it the last 7, last 9 and the last 11? Can't remember. Not that hardcore into it, but I still have some of the very rare figures. And for good or for bad, I have purchased all of the new figures of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, with of course the hope and expectation that in 30 years time, after I've kept them locked away in a dusty attic, in a dusty box, in a dusty room, that I can pull them out and retire. But we'll see how that goes. Probably not going to be as valuable as the original trilogy sets. I suppose some cards might be, but some figures, but who knows. Which brings me to this curious thought that I just had about Galen Erso and how I've never seen that figure, and apparently it was released. I've never ever seen it. Let's go search for it later, because I would imagine that would be quite rare. And I understand that poor old Disney or Hasbro or somebody cancelled a whole lot of products, a whole lot of figures lines for some reason. Don't know what it was, because apparently the movie went quite well. It had a highest grossing of 2017, I believe, and yet the figure lines were cancelled. I'm not too sure if they are selling as well as they should. I do see the figures in one of the local, I don't know what you call it, like a warehouse of a wholesaler. I don't really know what they buy bulk of things that people don't want, and then they sell it. So I've seen a whole lot of the Force Awakens figures in there for $5. So that's a bit of a markdown. At this point I am going to pause the video, because I still have to get these ones out of their wrapping. So I'll be back shortly.